Hi everyone. I wasn't really intending on making a video recently just because every time I seem to go to do one I don't really like the outcome. The last movie I watched I felt really passionate about, so I figured I'd make a review for it. Okay, so I think it was the last movie I watched, is Unfaithful, starring Diane Lane, Richard Gere, and Olivier Martinez. And it's pretty self-explanatory from the title, Unfaithful. It's about this housewife, played by Diane Lane, and she has this seemingly wonderful marriage to Richard Gere, and they have a son together. But you can tell that there's kind of something missing between the two, but you're not quite sure what it is. You know, like on the outside, it looks like it's perfectly fine marriage and family, but as you see them interact, you get this sense of it's not all that it appears to be. So one day, while Diane Lane is out, her character is out in the city. They live in New York. They live in like the suburb of New York, I guess, and she frequently travels to the city to do shopping for whatever. They run like charity things or whatever, I don't know. But anyway, so like one day she's out in the city and there's like this huge windstorm, and as she's walking along she knocks into this man, Paul, what's his name is, and she like cuts up her knee, and he's like, oh, you know, come in my apartment, because they like where they bump into each other, it's like literally right in front of his apartment, and so he's like, you know, just come upstairs and I'll fix it up and blah blah blah. And so thus begins this affair that she ends up having, and it's a very sexual, obviously, but I mean in this movie, like it's shown, which is, if you like that, then watch this movie. If you don't like that, then don't watch this movie. But it's very enjoyable. That's making me sound like a pervert. But anyway. And so throughout the movie, you see this affair continue on, and there's this constant struggle with her of she wants to continue having the affair, but she knows that it's wrong to cheat on her husband, and she knows that it's kind of destroying her family, because there's like one scene where, well, one part where she's like spent the whole day with Paul, and she forgets to pick up her son from school, and that really kind of weighs on her, that she's been so caught up in this other man that she's kind of putting her family on the back burner, and that's not what her priorities should be, you know. And but every time she tries to stop Paul from, she's like, you know, we should be doing this needs to stop, he always manages to like pull her back in. And so she's really struggling with that whole conflict as well. And then some other crazy shit happens towards like the end of the movie. I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, if you've seen the movie, then you know what I'm talking about. But it's a really good movie. I think it's really well acted. There is a good storyline to it. Like, it's not just, oh, she's hooking up with this guy and having sex all the time. Like, there is a legitimate good storyline to it, and I just think I love it. Oh man, and I feel like it's a 2-hour movie, maybe a little bit longer, and I just remember sitting there and it didn't feel like it was 2 hours. Like, it was so good. Oh my god, I definitely recommend this movie. Don't watch it if you're like underage or just feel weird watching these kinds of movies around your parents. Don't, because it can get really awkward. But yeah, I definitely recommend Unfaithful. It was a good movie. It really was. So I said that a billion one time. So that is all for this review. Leave comments below on if you've seen this movie, what you thought of it. If you have any recommendations for movies based on what this movie is about, if you think there's any other movies like this that I will enjoy, please leave suggestions below, because I love finding new movies. And yes, subscribe, all that fun stuff.